My favorite subject in law school, I would definitely have to say contracts.
Why was contracts your favorite?
Well, contracts are sexy. The first time I heard my law school professor say contracts are sexy, I thought he was crazy. But if you really think about it, contracts are sexy. It can start relationships, it could end relationships, and if you draft them and manage them right, it could make any relationship fruitful.
What is one thing you think people should know about contracts?
One thing I would say that people should know about contracts is that generally oral contracts are enforceable in court, but there are certain oral contracts that must be in writing. So if you go to court and you don't have these types of oral contracts in writing, more than likely you'll lose the case. And those oral contracts are discussed in the statute of frauds. The acronym that we learned in law school that's still very relevant today to remember these oral contracts are MILEGS. In Georgia, per se, there's 2 L's, and I'll discuss that in a second. Right, that double L involves lending and contracts that last more than 1 year. So let's go through the acronym. The M, contracts that are in contemplation of marriage. They must be in writing. If you have a contract that's going to last more than 1 year, those contracts must also be in writing. That's the Y. The L, if you decide to lend someone money, that agreement must be in writing. The other L for Georgia statute is that if you have a real estate transaction or contracts for the sale of land, it must be in writing. The E are executor contracts. That's typically when you're taking on managing the affairs of someone that passed away. Those contracts must be in writing. Now your G is your guarantor contract. Any contract, oral contract, must be in writing if you are taking on the responsibility to pay the debt of another. And then you have your S, those contracts that are barred by the statute of limitations. So if you lend someone money, like I gave you the previous example, and it's discharged by the statute of limitations, if the person decides that they still want to pay you, make sure you get that in writing.